Hi, I'm Roy from Roy's Garage. Today I'm going to be working on a 2005 Toyota Camry. I'm going to show you how to replace the front brake pads and rotors. These are the tools I'm going to be using today to do this job. Hood prop, rubber mallet, 3/8 ratchet, 14mm socket, 17mm socket, 14mm wrench, 17mm wrench, 8mm wrench, flat tip screwdriver, another flat tip screwdriver, air gun, piston, caliper, compressor, Phoenix brake flusher, brake clean, ceramic grease, anti-seize, suction ball, and a bottle of water with a hole on the top. These are the parts I'm going to be using today to do this job. Front brake pads, front rotors, and .3 brake fluid. Okay, first we're going to be removing this rubber plug. So loosening up the bleeder screw while the caliper is still mounted. Removing the caliper, there's two bolts, one here and one here. Removing the pads. This guy's all worn out. Removing the caliper mount, there's two bolts, one here and one there. Removing the rotor. Okay, so I'm going to be compressing this piston in, putting my old brake pad in, using my piston compressor. Okay, so I'm going to be opening up the bleeder screw, letting the fluid out while I compress the piston. I don't want this dirty fluid to go back up to the master. And lock it up. So I'm going to be putting on this rotor, but first I'm going to be cleaning it with some brake clean in case there's any oil on this rotor. I'm going to remove it. If you notice, this rotor is a coated rotor. Just leave the coating on, don't remove it. When you first initially road test the vehicle, you're going to hear a grinding sound. That's all this coating coming off. After a few miles, eventually this coating is going to wear off, and then the sound will go away. Okay, so I'm going to put on some anti-seize around my hub. Installing the new rotor. I'm just going to put on this lug nut just so the rotor doesn't wobble on the hub. So I'm going to be lubricating the caliper mount, removing these pins and lubricate it. Cleaning up the pins. Putting some ceramic grease right in here. Greasing up my pins. So I'm going to be reusing the old hardware. The new pads come with new hardware. If you were to try put the new ones on, a lot of times it doesn't fit good and wants to fall off. So if you can reuse your old hardware, reuse it. Most of the time you can. So I'm just going to be lubricating it. Okay, installing the caliper mount. Okay, on the inside of the pad, there is this spring that I'm going to be transferring to the new pad on the inside pad. The kit didn't come with any of these springs, so I'm going to be transferring it. So putting on my pad. Put some ceramic grease on the inside of the pad. Greasing up the caliper. Put a lid on the piston. Okay. Putting this guy on. Okay, so now we're going to flush out the brake system. Yeah, I'm going to be removing the brake fluid from my reservoir. There's a screen in here, you got to remove it. And suck out the brake fluid. So I'm going to be flushing out the brake system. I'm going to be pumping fresh fluid from the caliper up to the master using my Phoenix brake flusher. Open up the bleeder screw. Attach my Phoenix brake flusher. Now we can start pumping fresh fluid. So it takes about half a bottle per wheel. And tighten up the bleeder screw. So remove the brake fluid again. Filling up my reservoir with some fresh brake fluid. Putting back the screen. Now we're going to bleed the brakes. Okay, I'll start up the vehicle. Okay, pump your brake pedal up and down, no more than halfway until you feel pressure. Okay, that feels good. So with my hood prop, I'm going to be pressurizing the brake system. One side against the brake pedal, one side against the seat. So I'm going to be opening up my bleeder screw, checking for air. Oh, that looks good. Lock them up. Put some water on it. Brake fluid is water soluble. With my air gun, I'm going to be blowing it down. Dry it up. Now I'm going to pressurize my brake system again. I'm going to be pressurizing the system one more time. Okay, I pressurized the brake system about 15-20 seconds. Now we're checking for leaks. Everything looks really dry. Put your rubber cap on and you're good to go. So that's how you replace front brake pads and rotors. If you have any questions, comment below. Make sure to subscribe, give me a thumbs up, and I see you in the next video. Aloha.